Hi, I'm Allie McDonald. I'm an assistant editor at O'Reilly. Today I'm talking with Lisa Larson-Kelley and Jerry Chabolla. Lisa is a consultant who codes, and Jerry is a co-founder of Xirsys. And today we're talking about WebRTC. So guys, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
So for people who don't know about this new technology, what exactly is WebRTC?
You want to take this one, Jerry?
Go ahead, Lisa. I want to learn from Lisa.
Yes, WebRTC is an API that allows you to natively, in the browser, access the webcam, microphone, and also share data. So it's a peer-to-peer based protocol. So you're able to connect these clients together and share, in real time. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So one of the advantages is obviously not having plugins and being able to be right in the browser. So how is this different or new for people who've used different technologies in the past?
You take that one, Jerry.
Okay. Well, for one thing, it's because there's no plugin, everything's native inside the browser. So that's good to have. Plus, it's a little bit more streamlined. The things that you can do with it because of the power of JavaScript is far beyond of what the stuff that we used to do in Flash because of the community is so big. And there's a lot of JavaScript projects that you can implement. So like games and things of that sort. You could take like an existing JavaScript game, plug in some interesting connections like video and things of that sort with WebRTC, and update the game to have video and audio in it like LAN games do, or just make things shared. So like if I throw a ball in the game, the other people watching would be able to see it as well. So things of that stuff, updating things in real time and giving them more of a life where I'm in a room and I know people are in a room because they're represented by these objects that move. Things like that you'd be able to do. So thinking in the sense of like how when we look at everyday life where we walk in a room and we're conscious of people being around, we can replicate that virtually with this technology.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned using JavaScript. So are there what types of things would someone need to have skills in, or if they want to get into using real-time web apps, how do they start out basically?
Well, I think they can use their basic web development skills. JavaScript, of course, is important. But there are also a lot of things under the hood. We say it's peer-to-peer, but there are servers involved. So if you know Node, you can use those skills. And there's just a lot of stuff under the hood that you're going to have to dig into once you start doing this. And there are, luckily, more and more frameworks and toolkits coming available to help you with that, so you can use the skills that you have and not have to learn all of this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And there's also services available too that will handle all that stuff for you, so you can be, just developing what your specialty is, and then have everything else support that.
Awesome. So what are some of the types of projects you guys are using WebRTC for?
A lot of the ones that I've seen that I was demoing are using it for, of course, the first thing you think of is the Skype killer. I can make my own Skype right in the browser. Yeah, yes, you can.
Yeah.
But you can do so much more than that. There are like distributed hosting. You can share the load of all of the assets on your site by the people who are, with the people who are actually visiting the site. So you can share that server load.
That's actually really interesting.
It's an interesting use that you wouldn't even think of necessarily right off the bat.
Yeah, it's an interesting, the idea that she's talking about is you go to a site and you're downloading these elements from the site, and so you have them locally in your cache, in your computer. And the way they were talking about using WebRTC was to distribute that, so you make yourself a seeder. So people that go to the same site and they're like near you, either by country or by location, you're sharing assets with the actual users instead of the server.
Yeah.
Which in turn will save you money because you were not paying the server bandwidth. Instead, you're using the ISP bandwidth that's locally. So that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's just and that's just
concept.
one concept of how to use
Totally.
this. Once everybody starts paying attention to it
Yeah.
and realizing the power of it, I'm really excited to see what the community is going to do with it.
Yeah, so that kind of leads into sort of like where you see it going in the future. Do you see a lot of people getting interested in using WebRTC and doing real-time in the browser? Is that something that you think will be becoming bigger?
I think it is. I mean, one of the genius parts of it that I dug from the beginning was that they made it open source. And that means that you can take the actual engine that does the processing of the video and install it everywhere. So if you're a car company, you can install it like on your cars.
Yeah.
And give them internet, and you'd have like WebRTC in your car.
Oh, that's cool.
Things like that. And it was the genius move, maybe it was Google's move, I'm not sure, but to open source it, because then now everybody's just like, okay, well, I can take it anywhere I want. So I thought that was really smart of them to do. So I think just that alone is going to lend itself to be expected in the future. You know, why doesn't I have video? Why it doesn't? No.
Right. Why can't I communicate back?
I think it's going to be norm.
Yeah,
it's going to be norm eventually.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been really great. So thank you both for joining me.
Cool. Ali.
Thanks.
Thanks.